Thank you for joining Effortless Attraction. My name is Evelyn McAleer. I'm the author of A Life You Want, Effortless, and The Woman's Journey. I'm a life coach, business mentor, and inspirational speaker. And my greatest value is making a difference in people's lives. So I hope through these podcasts I can make a difference to your life. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, whoever can get to join in yet another Effortless Attraction podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, we're also on video. On every other platform, we're on audio. Today, I have my first female video guest in the house. And Siobhan, you are most welcome today.
Thank you very much for having me.
She's a wee bit nervous, and I have to say fair play, because when I reached out to ask Siobhan to come here, I said, let's do this one for the women. And she said, not a bother, tell her.
Rash decisions, let's just say.
Yeah, well, you done it. This is, I find, and it is not to be discriminating against the females, but most of my video podcasts have been, all of them, by yourself, have all been males that have been here. I have loads of audios with the females, but it's wonderful now to sit across the table with a female that we can have the chat. So anyway, today's conversation with Siobhan Cassidy is about the well-being in the workplace and female leadership. How about that, Siobhan?
There you are now. All two very important topics.
Yeah. Would you say Siobhan works in a company now, the Kerry Group, we can mention it. You've been there for 20 odd years.
I have indeed.
Do you say, has this been more a male company to work for as a female stepping into that?
Absolutely. And I suppose I've worked in, I suppose it's the dairy industry, and the dairy industry has traditionally been known as, I suppose, more male dominated, but I've seen a massive change in our company, I suppose, in two things. One, about the well-being of our people, and about finance leadership within women. And they even, to the extent, take it to the next level where they're setting targets that by 2030, they want 50% of leadership to be females. And that's not being disingenuous to the males. That's about basically empowering women. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose if you look at where we've came from years and years ago, it used to be, I suppose, the old mindset of women belong in the kitchen sink, like, you know, which is very wrong to say, I know. But, like, do you know, it's about, you know, getting ladies, women to actually believe in themselves, that they're more than capable of being leaders and being out there and working together. And I just think I love to see it, and I think it's brilliant to see it. I love the fact that the company I work to has actually embraced this initiative, and they're now taking it to the next step, and that they believe in it. And I think that is so important. Do you know what I mean? It really is.
Well, that's great. And we hadn't even chosen to speak about this topic. Isn't it amazing what just happens when two women get together and what we can talk about? Empowerment. I was at the local women magazine. We're doing awards, or are doing awards for inspirational women, or as they say ordinary women doing extraordinary things. And I was part of the judging panel.
Oh, amazing.
And it was quite difficult, you know, to choose, because you were picking from this category and that category and on. But what an amazing thing to see that it's lovely to get the recognition.
Yeah.
But, and I work with a lot of women as the men. And what I would love to see for women is, yes, have that belief in yourself to step up to the mark and to bring your whole self. We spoke up earlier before we come on the show here about bringing your whole self to work.
Yeah, yeah.
And the well-being, the importance. You're part of, is it Inspire?
Ignite,
apologies.
Yeah.
You're part of that group where you recognise that when we go to our work, females and males, that we have things that might be going on, but your company and yourself are at the forefront there to assist people in well-being and mental health. Tell us how that came about for you, Siobhan.
So I suppose, like, it came about a number of years ago, and it's called an Ignite group, and it's bringing people from, I suppose, all different divisions, and we also have diversity and inclusion and beyond groups as well. But the one I'm part of is Ignite, and with that, like, I suppose we look at all different kind of topics, bringing your whole self to work, menopause, well-being, squiggly careers, all of that. And it's, learning and development, growth within yourself. And I think it's so good to have these conversations because it makes people realize that, when you walk through those doors, morning, night, whatever it is your role is within the company, that you do bring you and yourself to work. Yes, we're all there to do a job and do a job very well and to the best of our ability. But it's about actually kind of going, do you know what, I'm not feeling the best today. It's all right to put your hand up and say, I'm having a bad day. It's all right to say, I'm having a great day as well. But most importantly is that it's okay to recognise that. And it's about being mindful and taking that in for what's actually happening that day. And one thing we can't change what happened in the past, but we can actually look at where we're at now, here in the present, and actually go, okay, well, here's where we're at. So I suppose to take it back to Ignite, and they do different things like, they run book clubs, they have, we have squiggly career talks, we have, like 5K runs, 10K runs, all different things. And part of that's all about actually bringing our community together, bringing our people together, so that you're not always just engaging with the people you work with on a day-to-day basis, but you're actually engaging with all walks of life, all different people, And the thing about it is, there's one thing actually springs to mind is back in November we had a conference in Dublin, and the team themselves had actually developed this, and I actually love this to the point that my boss actually says, Victor would say, Siobhan, you love this, don't you? And I say, I do. And it's basically these 3 circles, and it's me, it's us, and it's it. So the me is all about, where am I at? How am I feeling? What's happening with me in my life, in my work, in my job, in my family life, my friends. The us is about, the team around me. Are they okay? What's happening with them? Can I help them in any way? Can they help me? Because I'm very much so, I can learn off as much off you as you can of me. And it doesn't matter, I suppose, what stage of your career that you're in. And then, that we know how to do. So the biggest focus was on the me and the us. And it brought, 150, 170 people together to actually recognise, it's so important to actually look at the softer skills, to look at where we're all at, because we've no idea what's happening with you, what's happening with people, and, nobody's walking a mile in their shoes. And it's so good to actually reach out and actually go, it's okay not to be okay, and to have that, to be able to have those conversations, especially in a workplace,
Do you feel that it has taken perhaps females to come into leadership role for changes like this maybe to happen? Because they say that the male, they're very confident, they can make decisions a lot quicker sometimes than females.
Oh,
Not all
yeah.
females, the woman can tend to overthink the whole thing. So they have great traits where the female brings that lovely feminine energy, where there's more compassion, empathy, and perhaps that needed to be brought into more male roles. So now we can, as you call it, the softer ends, where we have more empathy and connecting to that and getting beneath. It's not just about the intellect that you have,
That's
or the
right.
skill set that you
Yeah,
have. There's more to this person.
there is. And I do. I think the females do bring that. They bring and they help the males actually recognise that, it's just doesn't have to be all about, the intellect, the skills, the statistics, the figures, where we're at as a company in the business, because that is so important without a doubt, because we also recognise that. But I think it does actually take a female touch as such, to bring that along and and I think it actually helps the
Mm-hmm.
males as well,
Mm-hmm.
because if I look at actually how we as a company has evolved through the years to actually bring this on board and just taking that on and grasping from it. And there's been no hesitant to actually, we're not doing this. It's been like, this is absolutely what we need. This
Yeah.
is amazing, and it's actually taking it then from strength to strength. And I can just see, the company actually just continuing with this as
Yeah.
well.
What is the overall end impact? What have you seen changing from all of these, the softer or the well-being days, from they've been implemented? What the benefits are?
Benefits. So people coming forward and people actually saying, that was brilliant, that was great, that actually resonated with me and my home life. You know, and I'll actually take it to the next step where, look, as a global company, we have support networks there. But what we have done as well, we've brought on board ALPS, which is All Lives Are Precious. And what we've done is we've taken everybody on our side through like a mental health, well-being and resilience talk. And that has been, Frank Diamond has come on board and actually done that himself. He's absolutely amazing. But what we've actually done is then taken that to the next step to have, you know, mental health first aiders on site as well. And we've had 50 people actually putting their hand up, they want to come forward, you know. And it's about, for me, if I listen to actually what the certain things that, you know, even Frank has said, you know, it's about the language we use. So it's things like, you know, I have to get up to go to work in the morning. I have to come and see Evelyn today. Change that. I get to. Mm-hmm. I get to come to my work every day and work with great people. I get to come to meet you today. You know, I get to go and do certain things. So once you change that language, changes your mindset.
Yeah.
You know, so I've seen how that has evolved and how, you know, we have 50 people coming forward going, I want to be part of this. You know, and I think that alone just kind of is brilliant to see, you know, that people actually talk about these things now, mm-hmm. you know,
and people are looking more, they're looking for more in work. It's not just about that I need to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
You know, it's that we don't switch into a different persona when we're going there and leave all of that stuff mm-hmm. there. I leave that behind where a boss expect me. I don't care what's going on in your life. This is what I want you to do. I think I have a good friend that does culture. He goes into companies and I teach about that, and people are looking more.
Most definitely. And that's where, you know, every company, every workplace has to kind of be able to take this on board, that it's not just a matter of coming in and doing your job and going home again. Is that, you know, our children are even becoming more evolved as, right, you know, mental health awareness is coming into schools, it's coming into workplaces, and it's just so important. And it's so good that we are actually now recognising and doing something about it as well.
Yeah,
you know,
it's an investment.
It is.
You know, where we say invest in the people. We're probably at one time, which is lovely too, the bonuses. They're mm-hmm. lovely wee perk to have. But also as an investment, I matter to you.
That's right.
I actually matter. I'm not just another number.
Yeah.
But I mean that much to you, that you're prepared as a company to facilitate this. And I may not require it at the time, but it always has these things. They plant a seed for when the day comes.
Absolutely.
That I need it.
Like, and I think when people feel appreciated and they feel, you know, that they're thanked, even so much as actually saying to somebody, thank you for doing that. You know, people go out of their way. I go out of my way. If somebody said to me, Siobhan, thanks a million for doing that, you actually go, oh, you know, no problem. Like, you know, but you appreciate it and you actually feel, you know, an element of self-worth mm-hmm. that I've done a great job here. Mm-hmm. And so actually when you cascade that either up or down or side roads, it doesn't matter. It's appreciating the people you have around you. Mm-hmm. And I think when you have kindness, you know, you have it outside of work, you bring it inside of work, like, and it's within your nature. Mm-hmm. It makes such a difference to people.
Yeah.
You know, kindness can actually mean so much to everybody and have an impact, I think, to everybody as well. So something so simple as saying thank you it could turn somebody's day into, you know, from something that wasn't having a great day there, you know, but your woman came down and she was saying thanks very much for doing that, you know, and that could actually go, oh, that's great, I appreciate that. So I always think people who feel appreciated, whether it's in work, outside of work, whatever it is, will do more.
Yeah. I was listening to a guy, I can't mind his name now, but he was on about when people describe what it is that they do. He was in a company one time and asked this young girl, what do you do? She says, I'm just an administrator. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he says even that word, just. So he had a wee yarn with her, a wee conversation, and he was doing a bit of a seminar. And they had something set up. He says, because I'm going to call upon you later on. So the whole company was there. And he say her name is Mary. So he says, Mary, could you stand up, please? What is your role in this company? Mary stood up and she says, I am the engine oil behind this company. And everybody give her a round of applause. And it's how we see
Brilliant.
yourself, or the acknowledgement. This is what I do. But the lovely combination of that, as you say, the female leadership or female influence. And it doesn't mean that we are a walkover either, but that assertiveness, the confidence, and that you're able to bring that with you, and without, you know, what would have been seen more as the aggressive role in leadership. Declan Coyle once said, it was in the 60s, he says, the women were all burning their bras, Evelyn. They wanted what the men, they were looking their things. He says, and they got it. He says, but the problem was, at that time, he says, we had a lot of females stepping up, behaving in the same manner as what they seen the oppressor.
Yeah, yeah.
They forgot to bring their femininity with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that's the lovely thing, I think, when we have those softer things, as you say, compassion and empathy. And Karen, it's
Absolutely.
not to say that all men don't have it, for they do, but it's nice to have the nice combination.
Absolutely. And it's not to say that you're still not driven to do your actual role, to your job, to the best of your ability, or where you want to be, because we all have targets, we all have goals that we want to do. But we bring that little bit of extra, and with that, we bring the people with us. You know, male, female, everything behind it. Like, because I think, you know, it does make a difference. So if you can make a slight difference, you know, bit by bit, you know, people see. So monkey see, monkey do, and people actually see this, and that just cascades. It really, really does.
Have you always been a confident speaker, Siobhan?
Absolutely not. I nearly turned the car 3 times a day.
Well, it's looking very effortless. What would you say to someone that is listening in and thinking, gosh, there's a woman sitting there and you'd know by her, oh, she's been in leadership. You can tell how she sits, you can tell by how she dresses, you can tell by how she speaks.
My word.
But how did this all come about then? Because as you say, it wasn't always the case. Confidence wasn't always there. How did that build in for you?
Age. Do you know what? I like, and I think it's experiences in life, it's experiences in work, it's the people you're surrounded with, and you know, outside of work, with the, you know, the family and the people and the friends that you actually surround yourself with, and whether, you know, if what you come through in life as well, whether it's trauma or whether it's not, and the challenges and the hurdles that you have through work and how you actually overcome them. And I actually would have to compliment my manager and how he has educated me in, you know, how you actually deal with these things, you know, and how we treat people, and how, you know, how we get the best out of people. And with that, you know, he has given me confidence to believe in myself.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and he has look, you know, he has years of experience of this, but it actually does really resonate. And you know, I have a daughter, so I can actually take that to her, you know. And it's things like, you know, something so simple as going to the gym, you know, first thing in the morning, out you go. And even the girls at the gym, something so simple, you know, and it's empowering.
Mm-hmm.
And it sets you up for the day, and you come in, you're in great form to work, and you know, away you go, like, and what's the crack today? And I suppose somebody would say to you, you know, well, what's the crack, how are you? I'm grand. But if somebody says, no, but how are you? You know, that's the difference. How are you today? And it's today, you know, it's not how are you, because you can change that. So it's all about the language you use and that. So for me personally, I've came through a journey of probably, you know, myself, of, you know, building myself up, of, you know, taking myself, reading books, but taking myself through mindfulness journeys as well. And it does educate yourself on actually how you deal with you as a person, and how you actually, you know, what do you want to do? Where do you want to take it? And what do you want to do to the, you know, how do you want to actually be perceived from the people around you as well? So definitely, like, it's been a combination of a lot of things, like, definitely has.
The many lessons that we receive in life. Always get these things. If, as I say one time, if it's confidence you're after, there will be opportunities today in order for you to become more confident.
So true.
And this opportunity presented itself to yourself, and After this, sure,
They-
you'll be buzzing with confidence.
I often look at people like yourself, and people who get up on stages and they present, and even through your work and their conferences, and I see people move themselves out of their comfort zone. So me being here today, it's out of my comfort zone, and I kind of having the courage to actually do that. So it's actually saying, well, sure, why not? What's going to happen?
Yeah, we can take our mind to so many places. We really can. But the wonderful thing is we had connected, so we had felt comfortable with each other. For starters, with a lot in common, but our mind can take us. Oh, what if this happens? What if she asks me this? What if? Or what's the cameras? What I'm going to be like? And when you actually you think it's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Not too bad. No,
Siobhan, I am going to wind it up here now. I want to say thank you so much. And we were laughing here to begin with because Siobhan was saying she was at a gym one time and her friend showed her a previous podcast that I had done with someone, a video one. And I said, could she imagine at that time when she was watching that she would be my next video guest?
Not one bit. I'm so glad I watched it.
Siobhan, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement for young girls or women of any age. It doesn't matter what age you are.
Absolutely.
Step up to the plate. If there's something coming on offer, put yourself forward. Believe in yourself. And and Siobhan, I want to say, just you keep doing what you're doing. You're making a difference to the world, and that's what Effortless Attraction is, making a difference. And when you make the difference to your own life, and we make it to others, that's a great day, isn't it?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
If you would like to become a paid subscriber to Effortless Attraction, you'll find the link in the main profile. Every subscription makes a difference to my life, and you'll also receive exclusive podcasts. Thank you so much for your continued support.